from the beginning of my training history, like in baseball specifically, I was always taught be the person that integrates everything, but go out and find all the different experts. Okay, go talk to someone about biomechanics, take that information and talk to a physical therapist, talk to a strength trainer, talk to an analytics guy and strategist. And then take all, okay, I'm moving this way, which is probably why I'm feeling like this. My physical therapist says I need to do this different. So in order to make that movement, I might need to train this way. So I need to get stronger over here. And it's like assembling all these different areas. And I have a bunch of different areas, biomechanics, medical, physical therapy, strength and conditioning, analytics. I can go down strategy, mindset, mental game, all these different things I have. So what are some of the things that you put together when you're integrating for a client? What are some of the things that might go into creating that type of team? I mean, we've talked, player development and stats and contracts, but there's other, just like PR. There's like what else?
And again, but it depends on what the player wants.
Right.
There are a lot of players that, look, I need my contract negotiated, and then, I'm pretty happy where I'm at with my family. I just want to play and go home to them, and, maybe in the off season somewhere to train. But other than that, social media is not a big deal. If building a brand and figuring out, post playing kind of a plan, like where do you want to go? Building that marketing side, that PR side, that's really important. And so, getting a team, of people that can really handle that together for you. Obviously, the financial planning is super important, so that you have finite careers in sports.
Yeah.
But making sure that you do what's necessary with that money so that the money can kind of work for you in the future when you're not playing. So, you have your financial planning, you have, player development, health and wellness, making sure that you have, the right strength programs. Because, I found a lot of players will tell me they aren't happy with the strength coaches that this team has. Maybe they like one team over, another. So ones that they're comfortable with, that can also, integrate with if you need a nutritionist, making sure your sleep is good, just everything. It can be as broad as, a player wants, or
right.
as just limited and narrow.
Yeah, and because of the model, they're paying accordingly based on the services they get. So for a player that's high maintenance, like me, and just in the sense that I have a lot going on, you obviously are integrated with all that different stuff, baseball and all the stuff that goes into it, strength, conditioning, throwing, working out. During the shutdown, we had to even find a place where I was going to be able to work out.
Yeah.
We had to find a place where I was going to, how am I going to get the food that I normally like to eat? But then also on the business side, so that's like the financials of it, accounting, finding business manager or connections of potential partners or different things like that you're involved in.
All your investments.
And everything. All that financial planning, all that different stuff. Talk about the team that we've been able to kind of build up for me on the marketing side, on the PR side, on the strength and conditioning, the development side, the analytics side, because you're involved with all these different. I have, was it 8 or 10? I lost track at this point. People kind of on that team, but you help put a lot of that together. So what's your process in looking at kind of where I'm at and figuring out what could be helpful, or what how to advise?
I think it starts with sitting you down and figuring out, what do you want? Like, what's important to you? And again, it's always good to look at the bigger picture first. Whether it's, when you're 10 years after your playing career, like, let's start there. Where do you want to be, ideally? And then let's backtrack to, okay, then getting to just the entirety of your career, like, what do you want to accomplish? And then everything down to, okay, in this next season, what's important to you? Figuring it out. Whether they're playing goals, whether they're goals or desires of where you want to live, where do you want to be located.
Personal goals,
business goals, whatever it is. Yeah. And figuring out, like, what's important to you, and then looking at everything, and okay, how do we accomplish all these things? And for you, at least during I mean, I think we've taken advantage of this kind of dead period with no baseball of this is a weird time where, you know, you guys don't, like, you're in one place and, you know, it's almost like the off season kind of, but I would say less
really,
hectic.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. So taking advantage of it though, and what can we accomplish? And, you know, you and I have sat down and, I mean, we've mapped out even just, okay, for this next season, like when technically the off season would be, like where do we want you to be in everything, in your businesses and, you know, whatever. And then just going back down to just day to day, like what should you be doing? Who do we need to have working with you to make sure we can accomplish these things? And I mean, we have your schedule, mapped out to the 15-minute. You're not quite as good as, you know, incremental as lawyers. They're at the 6-minute billable
You go
hours.
6 minutes?
6 minutes.
So like literally every
6 minutes.
That's good to know. I didn't know you were billing me every 6 minutes. Now I'm going to start cutting you off. I'm going to look at my phone and be like, oh, we're at 5:38. Nope. Click.
Yeah. Well,